Live from the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, TV51 presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us as the Houston Rockets taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here tonight in the FedEx Forum. The Grizzlies went on a road trip recently out west, won 4 games in a row, but dropped their final 2. The Houston Rockets, on the other hand, still struggling. They're trying to play without T-Mac. They have lost 5 games in a row, and they will be without T-Mac again tonight. Now, Matt, it's tough enough to play in this league without your star player. The Rockets, however, have been in a lot of these games. They just haven't been able to finish them off.
Yeah, you know, when you're playing without your star player like Tracy, it takes all your effort. You've got a very slim margin for error, and the Rockets have been close in a lot of these games, but just haven't had enough down the stretch to make it work.
Well, what they've been able to do, though, is get a couple of players going. Luther Head, a young rookie who is getting more minutes than he normally would get, and Derek Anderson is starting to get his stride.
Yeah, Derek Anderson is starting to come out of his shooting slump. The last 2 games, he's played great. Look at those rebounds for both of those guys. Those are bonus rebounds for the Rockets. Luther Head is a guy who has never been slumping. He's a guy that I've always said he needs more minutes. Well, he's getting them now. The last 2 games, Luther's been playing fantastic.
And I know what the Rockets would like to do is to get Yao Ming back into the game again. He faced a smaller team in Phoenix the other night. They fronted him. They put a guy behind him. He never could seem to get into the flow of the game.
Well, and Yao was very, very tired in that game against Phoenix, and Phoenix took advantage of that. They played tough defense on him. I think Yao is more rested tonight. This is the front game of a back-to-back, but Yao needs to play with some energy. A big guy like Yao, he can get tired in a hurry, but tonight he can play.
Yeah, he'll be going against Lorenzen Wright, who is a lot smaller, but it seems like the smaller centers give him more problems than the bigger guys do.
Well, the smaller guys have been fronting him, and they use their quickness, and Yao just needs to play big. When he's got a small guy on him, he needs to use all of his 7'6" height and play big.
Well, Memphis is playing big with Pau Gasol. He's entering his 5th season in the NBA, former Rookie of the Year, and he really matches up nicely with Shane Battier.
Well, Pau Gasol, his stats are very similar to Yao's this year, but he has more blocks and more assists. And Shane Battier, he's been shooting 59% from the floor and 45% from the three-point line. Those numbers are outrageous for a small forward.
They really are. When you talk to a lot of coaches, they say that if they had one player they could select, it would be Shane Battier because he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Well, he played in college for Duke. You know, that's a great program, and that shows you something. When you have a great college program behind you, a lot like Luther Head at Illinois, you become a great pro.
And Stromile Swift coming home tonight. Now, he'll have a little something to prove here tonight.
Yeah, he will. Let's see if Stromile can get it going tonight. He's been a little bit low energy in the last few games. He's looked very tired, but you can't be tired against your old team. You got to come out and be ready to play some basketball.
Well, he picked it up a little bit against Phoenix, and I'm hoping that'll get him going this season. All right, it's time now for the Toyota Power Team keys to the game.
Well, key number 1, got to energize. This is the 8th game of the season, or 13th game of the season. 8 of them have been on the road. Front game of a back-to-back. You got to use your mind to make your body work hard tonight. Number 2, you got to cut down on turnovers. The Rockets are averaging almost 16 and only creating 12. And the last one, you got to play a full 4 quarters. You got to find a way to win. You got to play the right way down the stretch to win basketball games.
I know what you mean by energize. The Rockets have been starting poorly. They need to get off to a good start here tonight. Trying to break a 5-game losing streak with a game back home in Houston tomorrow night. They'd like to get this one here. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment on TV 51. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. NBA action tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies at 7-5 on the season. The Houston Rockets at 3-9. Here tonight, Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Houston Rockets. They will trot out Ryan Bowen, Juwan Howard, Yao Ming, Luther Head, and David Wesley. For the Memphis Grizzlies, it will look this way for Mike Fratello's ball club. Shane Battier, Pau Gasol, Lorenzen Wright, Eddie Jones, and Damon Stoudemire. So we're just about ready to go with this division matchup. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment on TV 51. Welcome back to the FedEx Forum as the Rockets get ready to do battle with the Memphis Grizzlies. And these two teams have had a nice little rivalry going ever since Memphis played in Vancouver. and then moved down here to Memphis several seasons ago. And the Memphis Grizzlies will be playing in Dallas tomorrow night. The Rockets will be returning home to play, so both teams playing the first game of back-to-backs tonight. The Rockets will take on Chicago tomorrow night at Toyota Center. And Memphis will be going down to Dallas. Got a couple of veteran coaches going head-to-head here tonight. Jeff Van Gundy will be looking for his 100th win as a Houston Rockets head coach. And Jeff is hopeful he can get it right here tonight. He'd rather not wait, maybe get 101 tomorrow night. And, of course, Mike Fratello, veteran head coach, over 600 wins in his NBA coaching career. He got his start in Atlanta in 1980-81. He has coached at Cleveland and now in Memphis. And between jobs in the coaching ranks, he was a network analyst for TNT and NBC, better known now as the Czar.
Right there. There's the Czar.
There's the Czar. Yeah, he's very good at that. The Czar of the Telestrator is where he got that. And he's quite a basketball coach. And, of course, in all of the jobs that he got, he followed Hubie Brown. He was an assistant for Hubie at Atlanta. When Hubie stepped down at Atlanta, he took over there. And then he came here when Hubie stepped down last season in Memphis. He took over the job, and Jerry West, the general manager, said Fratello was the guy he wanted all along. These two coaches, too, matter a lot alike. They don't leave any stone unturned, do they?
Well, yeah, the preparation that goes into the coaching staffs of both teams. Neither one of these teams is not going to be prepared tonight. I mean, the Rockets are going to be prepared. The Grizzlies are going to be prepared. You see Coach Van Gundy right there. Him and his staff barely sleep. So he's just hoping for his team to find some energy. You know, the game plan has been working for the Rockets. He just needs to have some energy in the execution.
Well, we were talking to Jeff, and we said, good luck on getting your 100 tonight. He didn't even know what we were talking about, and he doesn't keep track of that stuff. All he knows is his ball club has lost 5 games in a row, and he'd like to stop that tonight. These two teams are number 1 and 2 in defense. So that, if you look at the stats going in, you might have a half-court. They're both pretty much half-court teams, too, so there won't be a lot of running tonight. This could be a very low-scoring affair. And Yao wins the tip. David Wesley will start the action on offense. The Rockets over to Luther Head, who has come off 2 back-to-back very good performances. Bowen tried to get it into Yao Ming, and that was pretty close quarters, and Yao just wasn't ready for that pass. Rockets trying to keep those turnovers down. That's something they haven't been able to do lately. Gasol outside to Stoudemire. Stoudemire was a free agent signing in the offseason. Into Lorenzen Wright, shot it over Yao. Yao may have made him change that shot a little bit, and Yao with the rebound.
Looked like Yao got that tip the ball, actually got a block shot on that one. Look at that defense for Memphis. They're just packed in the lane.
Good seal-off by Yao. He sets up David Wesley head-on with a 3. So that's a good start for Houston as David Wesley, his shooting has really improved over the last couple of games. He's still down in the 30% range, but that's a lot better than the 28% when he started about 10 days ago. Eddie Jones out front. He came over from Miami in the offseason. Gasol to the basket. Got his own miss. Put it up. Had it blocked. Did Yao get that one too?
It looked like Yao got another one. So first couple of possessions, Yao's playing some good D.
He looks very active here early. Nice catch on the double team. Ryan Bowen trying to save it. He does, but he's trapped on the baseline. Gets out, swinging around. Wesley's straight on again for another 3. David Wesley is in a nice shooting groove to start the game.
I talked about the Memphis defense being packed in the lane. David Wesley's been the guy out on the top, wide open shots.
Everything goes through Gasol. Going to go one-on-one right now. Yao comes over to help. He picked up his dribble. Back to Jones. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Eddie Jones shoots it from Beale Street. It didn't go in.
Everyone on the Rockets needs to know that he's going to take that shot with the shot clock going down. You've got to be ready for a long rebound.
Nice pass inside to Gasol. A lot of contact. No whistle. Luther Head comes out of there with the ball. Luther's got to beat Stoudemire. Can't do it. Back out. Wesley says, let me try one more time. David Wesley. Bang, bang, bang. 3 trays in a row for David Wesley.
The first shot, David took advantage of the tight defense. The second shot, same thing. That third shot was just a heat check. Now he's starting to feel it. His teammates need to find him on the court.
And we have a whistle, and a foul is called on Juwan Howard. The officials tonight, Steve Javi, Louis Griot, and Gary Zielinski. Zielinski, Griot, and Javi, the officials for tonight's game. You know, a moment ago, Howard was just mauling Gasol down in the paint. There was no whistle. He just put a hand on him outside the paint then and got whistled for the foul. That's those touching rules in the NBA now.
The consistency you're looking for, right, Bill?
You can't touch. You can clobber him. You can maul him, but you can't touch him. And there's Gasol, almost a turnover. Stoudemire, did he get it off in time? Air ball. That'll be a 24-second violation on Memphis. Boy, the Rockets, that was one of your keys, play with energy.
Yep, they have come out with energy, and the 3 threes by David Wesley has really been a nice shot in the arm for sure, but the Rockets have taken advantage of the packed-in defense of the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are really paying close attention to Yao, and we'll see here, there's the 3 field goals for the Rockets. All 3 of them are threes, but when you get your shooters open, they got to make the shots.
And we talked about getting off to a good start. The Rockets got off to a good start in Dallas and stayed in that game all the way. There's Juwan Howard, got a little fake on Gasol, puts up a wild jump hook.
That was good D by Powell.
Stoudemire giving it up. Jones back outside to right, little head fake, nice pass inside. Yao swatted it away. Yao Ming with another block.
When you come out with energy, Bill, both ends of the court start to look better for you.
Wesley's open again, nice little head fake. Puts the jumper up, too long. Stoudemire. Battier did a good job of coming back to Wesley from the right side. And Jones will try to back Wesley down. He does, but he misses. And Wesley comes out of there with a rebound. He's got Luther Head on the wing. Down inside to Juwan Howard. Juwan working on Gasol, and the Rockets will set it up. 14 on the shot clock.
Nice pass.
Juwan blocked by Gasol. Keeps it alive. Takes it to the basket for 2, and a blocking foul is called. Count the basket.
And the Rockets are pitching a shutout, Bill.
And they've scored. They've scored 10 points in the top of the first inning.
Actually 11, and a chance for 12. You see that blocking foul? Lorenzen Wright was inside that little arc underneath the basket, so any contact in there is automatically a blocking foul.
Wow, this is something.
See, Juwan has gotten most of his points in the first quarter as a starter for the Rockets.
Rockets number 7 in the NBA in free throw shooting. Mike Fratello's seen enough. His ball club was playing very well last week. They won 4 games in a row, but they have currently lost 2 games in a row. And Jeff Van Gundy has to love the way the Rockets have come out and spurted to an 11-0 lead.
What are you doing? Are you trying to...
Rockets pitching a shutout right now, early in the game, 4 minutes in. And let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders. Memphis number 1 in points allowed per game. Houston number 4 at just under 90. Pau Gasol is on Yao. They'll get it out to Stoudemire, and he hits. Well, that's got to be good news. Right now, Stoudemire is slumping with his shooting, and he's under 40% from the field and in the 20s in three-point shooting. So they really want to get Stoudemire going too here in Memphis. Luther Head, nice pass into Yao Ming right where he wanted it, but no fake, and he had it blocked.
Every time Yao touches the ball inside, there's 3 or 4 Grizzlies all around him.
Eddie Jones steps back and hits.
Eddie Jones has been doing that for about 15 years in the NBA. That's no surprise there.
Yeah, he's a veteran, started with the Lakers.
Nice pass.
With Miami. Ryan Bowen got a lot of looks the other night against Phoenix. Yao working on Lorenzen Wright with a turnaround, too long. Stoudemire quickly takes a tour through the middle, and Ryan Bowen says, get that stuff out of here. Bowen, a great defensive player, gets the steal, and Luther Head. He'll direct traffic.
Good patience by Luther.
Juwan Howard. That's the shot he's got to hit.
Well, and he's been hitting those shots for about 15 years as well, so when he misses a 15-footer, that's out of character.
it around to Battier in the deep corner.
Sure. Sounds like there's a fire in here, Bill.
That must be a defensive call.
Yeah. Right? Every time Jeff yells fire, that means the Rockets are going to go double team the post.
Everybody runs out of the exit.
You just go ahead and stay in your seat next time, Bill.
Okay, thank you. Oh, nice pass to Juwan Howard. Went back door. Gasol was looking somewhere else. He did not even see Howard go back there. So Howard with 4 and Wesley with 9.
That was a great pass. Powell was fronting, and he was looking at his teammates for the weak side help. No weak side help on the Grizzlies.
Touching foul on Luther Head. That's a terrible call. I don't care what you say.
Tell us what you really think, Bill.
Well, you know, if we could see this, well, we're not going to see it, but this is Juwan on the last
That's a great pass. See, Powell is fronting him, and there's no weak side help. And the rookie Luther Head with a nice read on that play.
Stoudemire up and in for a three-pointer.
Well, that's a rookie mistake. Luther went for the steal and left Stoudemire wide open for the jump shot.
Luther Head ducks behind a Yao Ming pick. Looking to Juwan. They want to make Gasol play a little defense. Juwan on the wing. Back out to Bowen. Turnover Houston. So Mike Miller now will check in, and here comes some instant offense.
Yeah, he's had some really big games for the Grizzlies coming off the bench.
Yeah, Miller averages 11 points a game. Everybody likes to have that instant offense coming off the bench, something Rockets haven't been able to do. They've had to start some players with T-Mac out. Well, it doesn't take Miller long to get into the offense. And there's Yao with the rebound, but Battier steals it away.
And most guys don't want to take a shot as soon as they get on the court, but Mike Miller is looking for that one.
He's down. Miller is down. And I didn't see what happened after the shot.
I didn't either. He's only been in the game for about 5 seconds.
Well, he took the shot. He must have come down badly.
Oh, he's bleeding.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
A little blood on the floor.
Must be, looks like out of his nose, but we'll wait and see. As we have a timeout, we'll be back with more action in just a moment as the Rockets lead it 13-7. Houston.
Let's see Mike Miller shooting the ball. Looks like David Wesley hits him.
He missed him.
Yeah, David didn't look like he hit him, but we don't see him outside of the camera frame there, so we don't really know what happened. He is definitely bleeding badly from his forehead area, but it didn't look like David made any contact with him. There you see he's laying on the floor, but as they clean the blood up off the floor now, we really never saw what happened to him, but we definitely know he's bleeding and he went to the locker room.
That would be a tough loss if they lost Miller any extended length of time, because he supplies a lot of points for this Memphis team.
Well, he's in the game for a full 22 seconds.
Rockets score only 85 points a game. That's dead last in the NBA, but Memphis scores only 90 points a game, which is 25th. Stoudemire walks his way right in for 2. You can't let that happen. The little guys have really hurt the Rockets with their penetration.
So you're saying you can't let them go in there with 3 or 4 steps like that?
No. You can if you get away with it. There's a double team quickly. It goes away. Luther Head gets it up to John Barry's in the game. Yao Ming has the ball taken away by Battier.
The Rockets continue to try to get the ball into Yao, but I'm telling you, there are 3 or 4 Grizzlies all around Yao every time he touches the ball. It's going to be tough for Yao to get any points in tonight's game, and if that's the case, the Rocket shooters have to take over.
Exactly, because he has passed out into several baskets. They are aggressively defending Yao. Shot clock down to 4 seconds, down to 3. Yao's going to have to take it. No, he gets it out, and a 24-second violation. Somebody's got to be aware of the shot clock.
And when Yao caught the ball inside, he was not double-teamed that time. He could have taken that shot, but Rockets have to know the shot clock.
Somebody has to tell him.
Yes. Why don't you tell him?
Well, he had his back to the shot clock. Somebody has to say, go with it, big fella. Oh, nice pass to Battier by Gasol. And now Memphis, that early 11-0 lead has evaporated quickly, and it's 13-11 ever since that timeout by Fratello. Luther Head gets it down to Yao, and again he can't hold on to it. You know, if you run at him with a lot of guys, he really has trouble holding on at times. There's Juwan as Bobby Jackson is in the game. Here's another kid that can put up a lot of points in a hurry on you, Bobby Jackson. Came over from Sacramento in the offseason. Luther Head from the corner, and he drains another three. Luther Head just keeps getting better and better.
10 for 17 now in the last 3 games from the three-point line for Luther.
And he's 20 for 39, and that moves him over 50%, one of the leaders in the NBA. In the corner to Eddie Jones, and he's done that a while.
John Barry came off to help on that drive, and Eddie Jones is one of those guys that's very difficult to help off of.
Eddie in his 12th year in the NBA, one of the leaders by active players from three-point shooting. There's a miss by Luther. Stoudemire quickly all the way to the basket.
There's that guard penetration you were talking about, Bill. The Rockets, that is one of their major weaknesses, and Jeff Van Gundy is not happy. He'll be calling timeout.
Transition defense is something Jeff's teams take pride in, but the Rockets get beat back a lot more often this season. We'll have a timeout. Score tied at 18.
Please join popular contemporary Christian artist Michael W. Smith through the Memphis Symphony Orchestra for an evening of holiday.
Memphis on a 12-3 run the last 3 minutes to tie this game up. 2:28 left in the quarter.
Well, here's Damon Stoudemire, that guard penetration that is one of the Rockets' weaknesses. You see there's 5 Rockets in the paint, and the littlest guy on the court gets to the basket and lays it in with no player there trying to contest it.
That's very uncharacteristic of Jeff Van Gundy teams. Of course, Stoudemire was on the open market. He wanted to play in Houston. He has lived there in the offseason and has worked out with a lot of the Rockets players, and he wanted to be a Rocket, but the Rockets did not have enough money to give him. So he took more money to come here.
Jerry West has done an excellent job with these Grizzlies of getting the main guy, Pau Gasol, and getting some players around him.
Derek Anderson, tough shot over Eddie Jones, but that's what Derek's been able to do lately. He has really been coming on the last 3 or 4 games.
And that's the punch off the bench that you talked about, Bill, that the Rockets have been lacking, but Derek Anderson has been giving it to him for the last 3 games.
2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in the first.
Pau Gasol on to Kembe Mutombo. Mutombo foul, knocked it out of bounds.
Grizzlies ball.
Good defense by Deke.
Look at this, Bill. The Rockets are 4 for 5 outside the three-point line, only 3 for 10 inside.
Well, that's the way the season's been going. Actually, they're very happy with that outside the three-point line. 6 on the shot clock. Bobby Jackson with a long 2.
Bobby Jackson's been doing that for years in Sacramento. Oh, hey, if you're in the front row, hold on to your drinks.
That's what you get. You get right up close and personal.
Oh, whoops. Those are expensive seats there, Bill. That's kind of the fringe benefit of sitting in the front row. You get to wear your drink home.
They can afford the dry cleaning bill. Inside to Juwan Howard, and an offensive foul is called on Juwan.
Well, that's Shane Battier playing defense down inside on Juwan. And Battier's had an excellent season so far, shooting the ball fantastic. Playing forward for this Grizzlies team against a much bigger Juwan Howard. Let's watch this defense. Juwan trying to power it in. Oh, no, that's a tough one there. This is the NBA, Bill.
Somebody tell Louis Grillo. That's the second foul on Juwan Howard. Gasol takes it down the baseline, and Swift did a pretty good job of staying with him, but that's a good shot. Boy, he's tough. He's a 7-footer. We just faced one of those in Nowitzki. He doesn't handle the ball in the open court like Dirk does, but he is very good at handling the ball right around the basket. Stromile Swift shot it too hard. Eddie Jones. So the Grizzlies now will set it up. Antonio Burks from the University of Memphis. Over to Eddie Jones. Down to Battier. And traveling is called on Battier. Now, Battier has scrimmaged thousands of times with Strohmile Swift, and he's probably had that shot blocked a few times by Strohmile, right?
Yeah, Battier was aware that Strohmile was there. He tried to give him a pump fake to get him up in the air, but good defense by Stroh.
Stayed right there with him. Grizzlies up by 2. Rockets led by as many as 11 early in the game, and Derek Anderson is fouled on the arm by Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones said, hey, where did I foul him at? Well, Derek Anderson is a lot better shooter than to shoot an air ball from there. Here's the replay. Foul on the arm, and there's the shot. You see there's no way Derek Anderson's going to miss by that much.
No.
Unless there's some contact. Eddie Jones was talking to Louis Grillo. Said, what did I do? What did I do? And Louis Grillo says, you're a shooter, and you know what you did.
So Derek Anderson gets both free throws to go. Derek had 23 against Phoenix in that game just a couple of days ago in Houston. We're tied at 20, 8 on the shot clock. Jackson with a crazy shot that goes in. I've seen this before. When he was at Sacramento, he'd come off that bench and just light you up.
He
when
can
he was
get it
healthy.
going. Yes, he can.
Been hurt the last couple of seasons, however, but he's healthy now. Wesley picked up the dribble, got it off, and did not get it off in time, and that's the end of the first quarter. So the Rockets jump out to an 11-0 lead, and Memphis called a timeout, and since that time outscored Houston by 2. It's 22-20, Memphis at the end of 1. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Memphis, Tennessee. Bill Worrell along with Matt Bullard. Good to have you with us here tonight. Rockets playing here tonight in Memphis. Come back home to take on the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night in the Toyota Center. Rockets jumped off to that early lead thanks to 3 threes in a row by David Wesley, Matt.
Well, he got off to a great start. Yao passed the ball out to David, and once he hit his first one, he was looking for the second one. That one was wide open. Anytime you get a wide open three, it gets your confidence, and now that's a heat check there. David with 3 nice ones to start the game, but Patella took a timeout and gave the Memphis Grizzlies a wake-up call, and since then they've been playing better.
Went on a 12-3 run. We understand Mike Miller has a left eye laceration and a concussion and will not return to tonight's game. That's bad news.
22 seconds tonight for Mike Miller, and he goes out with a concussion.
Burks on the perimeter, picked up by Mutombo. Jackson from the front row. Yeah, I've seen this act too many times before.
He's 3 for 4 for 7 points already tonight, and when he heats up, it's hard to stop him.
It really is, because you see where he's shooting from. Actually, he's shooting out of the range. You'd like to see most players take that shot.
There's that touch foul you hate, Bill.
Yeah, reach out and touch someone. Lawrence Roberts just did that. Lawrence, of course, the youngster taken in the second round by the Memphis Grizzlies, went to Lamar High School in Houston, then went to Baylor.
He's touching him. Call the foul.
If they're going to do it for one side, have to do it for the other.
Yep. The rule on that, Bill, is if you have the basketball and you're facing the basket, the defender cannot touch you at all. If you turn your back and you're in the post, then the defender can put a forearm or an arm on you, but if you're facing the basket, you cannot touch him.
Dante Jones, he's checked into the game along with Jake Sokolidis. John Berry gets a good look and hits.
John Berry was out early tonight shooting threes. Wasn't happy with how he was shooting them, so the first one goes in the game. That's got to be a good confidence builder.
25-23. Antonio Burks, there's Jackson again. This time he misses, and Mutombo with a rebound.
He was too close. He was inside the three-point line.
That's a good point. And off the knee of John Berry. Rockets, a little too many turnovers, I think, for this early in the game. That's 6 turnovers already for Houston.
Well, that was one of my keys, Bill. I mentioned that the Rockets are averaging 16 turnovers a game and only creating 12. So their defense isn't creating the turnovers, and their offense is turning it over too much.
That's 2 of your 3 keys already. Energy and turnovers. And what was that third one?
The last one is you have to play all 4 quarters, and we won't know that until the end of the game.
Okay, we'll hope that one is right. High off the glass for Antonio Burke.
He got the member bounce there.
He really did.
Being from Memphis.
All right, the Grizzlies have really extended that defense now on Houston.
See, now that Yao's not in the game, the Grizzlies defense is playing out towards the three-point line.
Miles Swift with the left hand as he returns to play in front of his fans for the first 5 years in the league right here in Vancouver and in Memphis. He was their #1 draft choice many years ago. Lawrence Roberts. Dante Jones, in and out. Oh, come on, fellas. Barry and Mutombo knocking away from each other. And that's going to give a fresh 24 to Memphis. What happens here, Matt? Somebody got to just take charge on the ball.
Yeah, well, when you see John's trying to get a rebound, and Mutombo says, hey, I'm the rebounder here. Let me get the rebound.
They left Jackson wide open, but he missed. Socolitis with the rebound and the putback, and he's fouled by Swift.
So the Rockets fight each other for a rebound, but they won't fight the Grizzlies for a rebound. What's up with that? Let's watch this. Mutombo's trying to box out Socolitis, but Socolitis just goes after it. Stromile has to foul him so he doesn't make the layup.
Big Jake in his 6th NBA season from Greece. He got his start in Phoenix. Played a lot of international ball before he came over here. He's 7'2", 290. And he loves to see Yao Ming come to town because that's usually the only time he gets to play very much.
Yeah, I used to think that Socolitis was a huge human until I saw Yao.
That's right. So he gets them to go 29-25 Grizzlies. Very out front. John, nice pass to Dikembe. And the whistle. Well, I guess one of the Grizzlies stepped out of bounds.
They watch it here. It looks like, I think Bobby Jackson, when he had the ball, he was on the end line. But another block inside. Bobby Jackson came from out of bounds to hit with that ball. Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, his foot was on the line when he had the ball. Willie Grillo sees everything, Bill.
7 seconds left on the shot clock for the Rockets. Somebody's got to remember now they don't have a full shot clock. Anderson says, I remember, but he didn't make the shot. Antonio Burks has Jackson on the wing.
Good deep.
Puts out Dante Jones, and he forces a foul. Derek Anderson.
Hey, watch this. Luther Head cuts down the penetration. Good job by Luther, but then Derek Anderson's got to recover and gets faked out by the pump fake.
Dante Jones, another one of those kids out of Duke University in his 3rd NBA campaign, and he really came on at the end of last season. They thought he earned some playing time. He's got a nice NBA body.
How about that, Bill? Memphis, last in the league in free throw percentage.
Yep, 66%.
The kind of shooters that they have, you'd think they'd be a lot better than that.
Well, Stoudemire is a 92% free throw shooter. Then everybody else is just about stinking up the joint.
Well, they're 4 for 4 tonight. That's 100% last time I checked.
Well, the guys shooting them aren't the normal guys. Anderson. 31-25. Now the Rockets down by 6. And we have a timeout on the court. 8:51 left to play in the 2nd quarter. Well, since the Rockets jumped out to that early lead, baskets are hard to come by. Memphis with the lead, 8:51 left in the 2nd quarter. Actually, for that much stuff in a basketball game for $52 nowadays isn't a bad deal, is it?
There goes the front row again. You better be paying attention over there.
Lawrence Roberts.
I think they paid $52 for those seats, Bill.
No.
maybe just for those.
Maybe
breaks.
for the corner of that seat. There's John Berry getting it into Anderson. Now Yao Ming back into the game for Houston. Taking it down to Stromile Swift. Nice little play. Gets it inside, and he's fouled going to the basket. That's what they want to see. They want to see a very energetic and active Stromile Swift.
I'm impressed with that move there. That was a power move inside, and whenever you go that strong to the basket, you're going to get a foul call.
Grizzlies second team foul.
Stromile Swift so far on the season,
Shooting 2.
averaging 21 minutes a game.
Let's watch this inside. Stromile just a little pump fake and just forces his way to the hoop. Tries to dunk it. Forces the official to call the foul. I like it.
Stromile only a 64% free throw shooter.
Well, he used to play here with the Grizzlies. They never taught him how to shoot free throws.
Last. You're right. Bobby Jackson out front now. He's got Sakalidis coming over to set a big pick on Berry. Lawrence Roberts back out to Jackson again. The shot clock at 7 seconds. Down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. Jackson throws it up from the parking lot. And Swift had 12 rebounds in his last game against Phoenix. Anderson felt the contact and put the shot up. That's a smart veteran move, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been doing that for years. Whenever he feels the contact, he goes right into a shooting motion, especially when he's playing against a youngster like Jones. There's the see the contact, kind of flip your head up a little bit and get the foul call.
We talked about Houston flirting with Damon Stoudemire, and then they turned their attentions to Derek Anderson. Derek took less money to come to Houston because he said he's always liked the management. He's liked this franchise. And he signed with a free agent contract with Houston on August the 23rd of this year. He's played in 8 NBA seasons with Cleveland, the Clippers, San Antonio, and Portland. Kind of got lost in the shuffle at Portland. And they let him go this season.
Well, Derek, he realizes it's more fun to win basketball games, so he came to Houston to win basketball games. In Portland, he was not having fun.
Okay, Jones with a miss. There's Derek Anderson. Nice quick move. Gets by Stoudemire. Good pass to Berry. Berry reversal. Missed the shot, but he drew the foul.
That was a great pass from Derek Anderson. And John Berry shocked me with his ability to hang in the air. Let's watch this. Good fast break opportunity. Watch this pass. Right on the money. And look at that. He hangs in the air.
Came down pretty quick, didn't he?
Well, I guess so, but I was trying to make it look good.
Hey, that isn't. He's upset because that ball didn't go in.
Yeah, every time John shoots it, he's expecting to make it, no matter if it's a three-pointer or one of those hang-in-the-air reverse layups.
I'll tell you, one of the great things about Berry, and of course he's been around a long time, but I don't think I've ever been around a tougher competitor. And of course that's in the Berry gene.
Yes. Well, wait till we play golf with him next week. You'll see some competitiveness.
Well, wait till he has to find out how many strokes he has to give him. Lorenzen Wright, little bump off on Stromile Swift, misses it. And Yao Ming had the rebound, took it away from Anderson, and they're going to get another basket. The Rockets took it away from each other again. My goodness.
The Rockets got to realize that they're wearing red jerseys tonight. Stop fighting each other for the rebounds and start fighting the Grizzlies for them.
Sakalidis right behind Yao Ming, and Sakalidis with 2 hands on the back. As Matt pointed out a moment ago, you can put that bent elbow on the back in the post-up, but not 2 extended arms.
Yao has yet to score any points tonight, Bill. The Memphis defense is keying on Yao.
That's a 5th team foul on the Grizzlies, and the Rockets have 2 team fouls. Yao will get a couple.
You see, last game against Phoenix, Yao had 54 straight games of scoring double figures and only had 8 last game. Still yet to score here.
Yao still looking for his first points of the game. Pau Gasol comes in for Sakalidis. So Yao gets on the scorebook.
Breaks the ice.
33-31 now, the Memphis Grizzlies. Gasol on the drive, lays it off to Lorenzen Wright.
Pau Gasol with a no-look pass. Pau Yao's numbers have been great this year, but his assists are up around 4 assists a game.
Yeah, he's really a good player. And that's going to be a defensive violation, 3-second violation on Memphis.
Well, Yao's in the game, and the Grizzlies defense is totally keying on Yao, trying to keep him from even touching the basketball. That time they got caught in the 3-second lane.
Rockets are 9 of 12, Matt, from the free throw line, 4 of 4 for the Grizzlies. So the Rockets getting to the line. They've been playing very aggressive. And the Rockets are 5 of 6 behind the arc. 3-point shooting. Yao wants the ball. He'll reposition now. Oh, Strohmile's wide open. Nice pass from Barry, and Swift uses the glass for 2 more. So Strohmile Swift has given the Rockets a boost, coming in 8 minutes with 5 points. And it's a 1-point game.
And Strohmile fouls Eddie Jones. I'll tell you what, though, if the Grizzlies defense is going to key on Yao as strong as they are, the rest of the Rockets have got to score points. And Strohmile Swift on our last pick and roll got an open shot. Let's watch this. John Barry with the pick and roll. Nice pass back to Strohmile, and the bank is open here in Memphis.
That's the third foul, team foul on the Grizzlies, and Barry had his hands on it. He was off to the races, but could not control it. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Stoudemire in the corner to Eddie Jones, and he misses, and Gasol goes for the rebound. Barry comes out of there with it. He's got to beat Bobby Jackson. He pulls it back outside. Strohmile lost it. Couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do, so he didn't do either. And a timeout taken by Memphis. 5:54 left to play in the second quarter, and the Grizzlies are up by 1. Memphis leading by a point with 5:54 left to play in the second quarter.
We'd be finishing at halftime of the game, wouldn't we?
If we finished at all. I know they're giving away a T-shirt. If you and I ran in it, they'd have to be giving away some free medical advice. All right, Rockets are currently on a 9-4 run now. Stoudemire has had a hot hand. He misses this time, and Yao Ming with the rebound. So the Rockets now, after a great start, fizzled a little bit in between, but now they've caught fire. They're on a 9-4 run, trying to add to that. Take the lead here on this possession. Derek Anderson back to Luther Head. He's short. Right on, but a little short.
As a shooter, you don't mind being short or long. That means your form is correct. If you miss right or left, that's when your form is off.
Shane Battier. And he traveled. Traveling occurring before the contact. You know, every coach you talk to says, boy, I'd love to have a Shane Battier. This is a guy that's well respected around the league. He's a solid citizen, but more than that, he's a solid basketball player. Really doesn't have a lot of weaknesses.
He does a lot of things well. His attitude is always great. He's a leader on and off the court. A lot of teams would like to have Shane Battier.
Strohmile threw it away. Well, we just understand in the preseason NIT that Duke defeated Memphis by 3 points.
Post up, Derek!
That's a pretty good job by John Calipari's team. That Memphis team is picked to win Conference USA this year. Oh, Strohmile Swift just reached out and grabbed that pass out of the air. Yao Ming. Knocked away by Lorenzen Wright. Yao tries to get it back, and it's knocked away this time by Eddie Jones. Boy, Yao having trouble holding on to that ball tonight. So a timeout taken by Houston with 4:24 left to play in the second period. And the Grizzlies leading by 1 in this low-scoring game. 35-34, and we're just off Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's Dr. John lookalike right there. Some of your music, Matt Bullard.
Well, yeah, before the game, he was singing a little of your favorites.
Oh, yeah. There's a young Rockets fan there on the right with his Rockets jersey.
UT shirt up there too.
Yeah, congratulations to Mac Brown in Texas today, finishing an undefeated season. The Aggies were awful tough load for Texas, but they got by Texas A&M, and now it's the championship game at Reliant next Saturday in Houston. And it might be against Iowa State.
The Cyclones have had a heck of a year in football this year.
Yao Ming from the top and misses.
Yeah, I was shocked he was that open. I'm used to having 3 Grizzlies around him all night.
That's right. Jones back to Lorenzen Wright. Kind of throws one up there, and Swift with the rebound. Under 4 minutes left to play in the quarter. These teams have been stuck on 35 and 34 for the last 3 minutes. And Yao has it knocked away, but right back to Strohmeyer Swift, and then he throws it away. My goodness gracious. Protect that basketball. 9 turnovers by the Rockets. All right, here we go.
Turnovers killing the Rockets, Bill.
Ball out high to Stoudemire. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stoudemire covered up. Got to take a wild 3. It's not there. And Swift with the rebound. Quickly up ahead to Derek Anderson. Wesley's open on the other side. They'll drop it down to Yao, and see how quickly Lorenzen Wright is able to go around. Yao's got to set a wider base, doesn't he, to block the guy off?
Well, we talked about this before the game, Bill. The smaller, quicker players are able to get around in front of Yao, and if Yao's going to play against smaller, quicker players, he's got to play big. He's got to use his size, his height, his strength. He's got to make those small guys pay for getting around him.
Jeff Van Gundy doing a little coaching there with Strohmeyer Swift. Juwan Howard back into the game, so it'll be Wesley, Yao, Howard, Luther Head, and Derek Anderson. Anderson dropping it off to Yao, but again, Yao can't hold on to it. That pass was a little behind him.
Very difficult for a big man to be moving and catch the ball at the same time, especially if the pass is a little off.
Eddie Jones tries to get it down to Gasol again, and he throws it away. These two teams have not scored a basket now in about 4 minutes.
Wow. Are they still playing basketball out there, Bill? Or are they playing keep away?
Well, let's see.
Looks like keep away.
That one, let's keep away. Well, we thought it would be a low-scoring game. We just didn't realize how low-scoring
it was good at the start. Both teams putting points on the board. Now here in the second quarter, both teams turning the ball over, missing shots, throwing it away.
Luther Head. Battier comes out on the defense. He slowed that play down, so they'll start it over again. They go down to Yao Ming, all in one motion over Gasol, and he misses. So Yao 0 for 4 to start the game. 2:04 and counting left to play here in the first half. Stoudemire misses, and Yao with a rebound. They're going to award a prize here in a minute if somebody makes a basket.
I think a big cold front has come through Memphis, Bill.
Nice pass inside by Luther Head. And that's the 15th foul in the Grizzlies, so the Rockets will be shooting.
You know, Bill, my son AJ, he plays in a basketball league for second and third graders.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and you know, they routinely go 3 or 4 or 5 minutes a game without scoring. And you know, usually the games are about this length. They're about 35 to 34 is the regular score in those games.
So you're saying AJ could play here tonight?
Probably so.
Well, we can't even make a free throw there.
Man.
AJ also plays hockey, is that
well,
correct?
Yeah, you know, he's playing it all, Bill. He tells me what he wants to play, and I say, go ahead, have fun.
But I understand he's leading his league in penalty minutes. Now, Dad, you're going to have to clean that up.
That's not me. That's his Uncle Rod. His Uncle Rod played college hockey and spent most of his time in the penalty box.
Well, the Rockets have tied it, and that's about the best you can say about this. Ball's on the floor. Jackson passes off, and that's going to be Houston's ball if they can get the handle on it. Now to Yao Ming again, and he can't. Golly.
The reaction on the Rockets bench to that pass is one of flabbergastedness.
I'm flabbergasted. That's a good word you pull out. Flabbergasted. Flummoxed.
Yeah.
Just absolutely flummoxed. And there's a blocking foul on Yao Ming.
You know what I want for Christmas?
A basket?
A thesaurus. So I can keep up with you.
A thesaurus. Said that one time to Calvin. He thought we were talking about an animal.
A dinosaur.
My man.
Is that a plant eater or a meat eater?
That's right. Well, who cares tonight? And there's another missed free throw.
Wow.
Grizzlies have been stuck on 35 for, what is it, 6 minutes? 5.5 minutes.
Yeah,
and they're still stuck on 35. The Rockets have scored 1 point
in the last 5.5
minutes. So it's 1-0 Houston over the last 5.5 minutes.
What
the
inning
game's
is this?
tied at 35.
This is the 6th inning, right?
Well, you know, if you ask either one of these coaches, they really don't care. They just want to win. Oh, that ball went down and came out. Memphis in this quarter is 4 for 13. Rockets are 3 for 9. Inside to Battier, who makes a layup. 37-35 with a half minute left to play in the quarter. Yao Ming turning inside on Gasol. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Wesley rims it out. Howard's got it. Rockets can go for the final shot. 7 seconds. Better get it out to a guard unless Juwan's going to do it on his own. Juwan turns, fires, and hits. Juwan Howard. Just under 2 seconds left to play in the half.
Juwan didn't want to turn it over. He figured, I'm going to shoot it.
Stoudemire does not get it off in time. So a little flurry of activity there at the end of the quarter, and a very defensive-minded game with these two coaches, Fratello and Van Gundy, going head-to-head. Their teams are tied at 37. Stay with us. Tonight's Toyota Power Team halftime report comes your way after the break.
Welcome back to the Toyota halftime report, where the Rockets and the Grizzlies are all knotted up at 37 points. Well, we want to show some Rockets defense here. Now, go ahead and run it a little bit more. As the player clears out on the baseline, the Rockets are going to double team with Luther Head. There's going to be a double team right here. Now, Luther's going to come down. Now, stop it right there. There's the double team. Now, the Rockets have got to get rotation to the shooter. Now, David Wesley gets picked right here by Lorenzen Wright. Go ahead and run it. There's no rotator, and Luther Head has to come back to Damon Stoudemire, a wide-open jump shot. We really struggled to find some shots made here in the second quarter with the Rockets only 4 for 12, but we'll be back with more of the Toyota halftime report right after this.
We are tied at halftime in Memphis at 37, and these two teams locked in a defensive struggle here tonight. The Houston Rockets got off to a great start early in the game. In fact, on the first possession, Yao Ming gets it out to David Wesley, and he pops a three from head on. Then Juwan Howard finds Wesley free for his back-to-back threes, and then Luther Head gives it up to David Wesley. So bingo, he'd hit triple threes back-to-back and forced Memphis into a timeout. Then later in the second quarter, Juwan Howard went to work with a nice little backdoor play, and with time running down in the second quarter, right before the half, Juwan Howard hits this little jump hook, and the Rockets tie it up at 37. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment here on TV 51. Welcome back to Memphis, where it's tied at 37 at halftime. Bill Worrell along with Matt Bullard. Good to have you on TV 51 tonight. I don't know whether it's great defense or just poor offense, but we did know going in these were two of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
Well, I think it's a combination of both. In the second quarter, the Rockets only went 4 for 12. The Grizzlies 5 for 18. So I think it's a little good defense. It's also some poor shooting.
Well, we thought it might be a low-scoring game, and it's turning out that way now, and it's whoever can get hot. You and I have talked about getting the ball to Yao. The trouble is, when you do, he's got to hold on to it.
Well, he's got to hold on to it. He's also got 3 Grizzlies defenders all around him. Yao only has 1 point here in the first half. Some of the other Rockets are scoring points. Derek Anderson has 9, and David Wesley has 9. He had hit his first 3 threes, but we're on pace for 74 points, Bill. And let me tell you something. The Rockets last year won a game with 73 points. The Grizzlies last year won a game, and they only had 72.
So they both have to be pretty confident about the second half, and we'll be back with the action for you in just a moment here on TV 51. Here tonight's Bud Light first half stats. As you see, sloppy shooting by both teams, although the Rockets are 5 of 9 from behind the three-point line. Rockets getting to the line 14 times. And what do you got? Turnovers. That's a big key right there for you, Matt. And bench points. Rockets bench, again, doing a good job here tonight. Well, of course, the Rockets are trying to get everybody healthy as David Wesley, Derek Anderson, leading scorers for Houston. Juwan Howard with 6. Damon Stoudemire with 9. Bobby Jackson with 7. Rafer Alston is standing over there in the huddle with the Houston Rockets in the suit with his back to you, and he has a fractured bone in his left leg. He says it's not a supporting, it's a non-supporting bone, so he thinks he can be back within the next week or two, and the Rockets would really love to have him back in the lineup. Tracy McGrady shot before tonight's game, and there's a possibility, Matt, that Tracy could play tomorrow night against the Bulls in Houston.
And if you're wondering why Tracy's not out on the bench, he can't sit in a chair for very long. He's got to be able to get up and move around, otherwise his back stiffens up, so he's back in the locker room getting some treatment.
I can't sit in a chair very long myself. All right, here we go now. Stoudemire will start the action for the Grizzlies.
Al Gasol with 2 points in the first half.
Gets a double team. Good defense by Houston, down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. And traveling all over the place is Damon Stoudemire. He got in there with no place to go. You know, we talk about that, and Jeff Van Gundy, as you take a look at Mike Fratello with that quizzical look on his face, but Jeff Van Gundy likes to close down that lane. He does not want you to score in there, and so it's tough for anybody to get in there and score.
That's a good play out of the halftime. Get Yao a shot.
Boy, that ball went in.
Cold.
Went in and came out.
Yao with only 1 point in the first half.
0 for 5 from the field now for Yao. And Gasol will shoot it from way downtown. So neither team allowing any penetration. You're not getting any inside looks. There just isn't any post-up game for either team. Move ahead with a nice pass to Juwan Howard. Now, Juwan could be a real key here tonight because they are giving him that shot.
4 for 7 with 8 points. The Rockets only have 6 points in the paint. The Grizzlies are really defending their paint. If Juwan can start hitting that 15 to 18 footer, that'll really open it up.
Well, he's hit his last 3 shots in a row. Now Gasol backing it inside, and he misses.
Well, at halftime, Derek Anderson came over to me and he said, that ball is really slippery. And so obviously both teams have to shoot the same basketball. It could have an effect on why there's so many turnovers and some of the missed shots.
Good move by Yao Ming, and Lorenzen Wright with the foul. Yao will shoot 2.
A lot of the officials picked the basketball as we watched Yao finally get a pass inside. Nice sharp pass from Ryan, and then of course he's going to get fouled. No one wants him to shoot a layup.
Well, I thought the rules stated that the visiting team got to pick the ball.
Well, what they do, the officials will pick a basketball out of all the balls that are on the court, and then they'll come over to the visiting team and let someone check it. And sometimes in the NBA, officials will pick out a bad basketball and will get slip through the cracks. And there's been times when I've played when the ball had way too much air in it or it was very slippery. And Derek Anderson claims that this ball tonight is very slippery.
Well, the officials carry those needles. In case the ball is overinflated, they'll let a little air out of it. So the Rockets with a 41-37 lead.
One of the rules that I've hated about that is you'll start a game with a basketball and both teams will say, hey, this is a bad basketball, but the officials will not let you change it. Once you start a game with the ball, you've got to continue with it.
Memphis has outscored Houston 16-6 in the paint. Moves her head, nice pass back to Yao, keeps it going to Ryan Bowen. Ryan's going to be short on the shot.
I'd like to see Yao shoot that 17-footer instead of Ryan taking a 3.
Stoudemire to Gasol. Battier.
Well, he's shooting 59% on the year. If anyone can be able to shoot that ball, it'll be him.
He's got a nice little jump hook. He's going to post up and score, and also score from the outside. He's worked on that in the offseason.
you're going to be a good pro, Bill, you got to work on your game in the summertime and come up with something new.
Tough to throw across the defense. That ball was intercepted by Battier. And going, really making it difficult on Battier to get the ball. Now he has to left his position. And Lorenzen Wright was able to get in there for the slam dunk. So that's 6 points in a row by the Grizzlies after the Rockets scored the first 4.
If you're going to block a shot and you don't block it, most times your player will get the rebound.
Luther had great drive inside, but he missed the layup. And then he drew the foul.
It's tough. That's a tough break for Luther. He made a nice move inside. Was not able to get the layup to go, but then he compounded his mistake by fouling.
Make a good pass. Here we go.
So Bowen will go out. Derek in the game now. And they're going to take it right down low, back outside, and around the horn to Eddie Jones. Eddie with a tough runner. I don't know how he thought he was going to make that.
Well, Derek Anderson just stepping out of bounds to let the ball hit, and he got clobbered into the seats there. You see Juwan's trying to help him out over there, but he went into the chairs, into the cameramen.
Got a little shove.
He really did. Looks like he got...
I think he's going to have to wait for just a second.
Yeah. Let's watch. You see, here's Derek over here. He's just going to... Oh, he got pushed in the back, and Battier was trying to hustle, but Derek tries to shake that off a little bit.
He'll be out of breath for a few moments. You've been there, Matt.
I have. I'm not sure what the technical term on that one is, though, Bill.
No.
Maybe there isn't one.
There isn't it.
I need that thesaurus.
Yeah, probably a dictionary would be good. And there's another foul. That's the second time Anderson's been fouled in the act of shooting.
He's still trying to shake that first injury off, and then now he's got to go step to the line and try to make a couple free throws.
Tomorrow it'll be listed as a groin injury, I'm sure.
So he'll be day to day, is what you're saying.
He'll be day to day, that's right. So Derek has made a living from that free throw.
Yeah, he's only 1 for 3 from the floor. He's got 9 points, so how's he doing that? He's 7 for 8 from the free throw line. 8 for 9, too.
Again, the Rockets came in as number 7 in the NBA in free throw shooting, and they have hit 14 of 18 for 78% so far tonight. And Wesley grabbed, as they say in Texas, he grabbed the holt of Eddie Jones. That's what Carol Dawson would say. Yeah. He grabbed a holt of it.
Yeah, grabbed a holt of him. Sometimes when Eddie Jones gets cut through that lane, you need to grab a holt of him.
Battier back to Stoudemire. Stoudemire goes left, leaves it off for Eddie in the corner, short. Rebound right to Lorenzen Wright and stripped by Luther Head. That was a good play by Luther, and it may have saved a foul on Yao Ming.
Luther's hands are so quick. He's down there with the big guys. We'll watch it here. Luther's in there trying to get this rebound, and he knows that when the big guy brings it down, that's his territory. I'm going to get it. Good job.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Lorenzen Wright. Good ball movement, but equally good defense by Houston. Back to Jones, has to fire up a three, and he hit it. Boy, that was great defense until Eddie Jones launched the shot. And it's a 3-point Grizzly lead. Points are hard to come by tonight.
Well, in a game like this, you got to make good shots. And get the ball back. And get offensive rebounds and not turn the ball over. If it's difficult to score, every possession is magnified.
Fresh 24 for Houston. Derek Anderson hits a three. That stopped the 9-2 run by Memphis.
That may be one of the toughest shots the Rockets have taken all night. BA was able to nail it.
Well, he came over here and got a little mojo, didn't he?
He came over, yeah.
We want to shake your hand. There's Battier, and Yao Ming made him shoot that too hard. Back the other way. Anderson takes it to the middle with a big step for the layup. Great move by Derek Anderson. Boy, he has really looked good in the last week or so. 15 points for D.A.
Well, he's been coming over, and I've been warming up his hand for him about the last week, but I'm not going to take any credit for that. Derek Anderson has really done a great job of coming out and playing in the last 3 or 4 games.
Jones threw it right in to Luther Head. Luther to Wesley. Wesley with a layup for 2. And a fast break for Houston off the turnover. And you can credit Yao Ming with some great defense down on the baseline to force the bad pass. Timeout taken by Memphis. And the Rockets have bumped their lead up to 4. A good look at Beale Street in Memphis, and the Rockets with the lead, and Bull, good defense by Houston.
Let's watch a little of this Rockets defense. Now here's a pick and roll double team. Now the Rockets need to rotate. They're going to be rotating all over the court. You'll see all these rotators. There's a rotation, there's a rotation, and as the penetration comes in, Yao is able to stop the penetration. There's some more rotation, but too much space for Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones has been knocking down that 3 for 15 years, and Luther Head had forgotten that Eddie Jones was that good of a shooter.
Well, the Rockets played 20 seconds of great defense, and then Eddie was able to burn him, but the Rockets right now on a 9-3 run. Gasol tries to get it inside, back out to Stoudemire. He misses on the shot, and Yao Ming goes high for the rebound. That's 6 boards by Yao. And a whistle on Eddie Jones. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
The last defensive possession for the Rockets had more good rotations. Derek Anderson playing some tough defense, and then David Wesley trying to bring the ball down to get it to David Anderson, drew the foul. Derek Anderson.
You know, Matt, the Rockets have struggled to score, but they have really played hard defensively, and been in most of these games they have lost these last 5 in a row. They just don't have a way to score, and there's another turnover by Houston trying to get it into Yao.
You bring up that 3rd key. You got to play all 4 quarters, and like you say, the Rockets have been in every game through 3 quarters, but it's the 4th quarter that really counts.
Nobody plays any harder than the Houston Rockets, but it's just so hard for them to score, and there's a foul call. So the foul is on David Wesley, and Eddie Jones will get to the free throw line.
The Grizzlies are wanting goaltending, but the officials say that Yao took it to the board, which means it's a clean block.
Eddie has been a fine player in this league for a long time.
Oh, and he's a great free throw shooter too, Bill.
Yep. Came out of Florida, drafted number 1 by the Lakers in 1994, and he's played for L.A., he's played in Charlotte, and for the last 5 seasons, he played for Miami.
And as you saw there, among the league leaders in 3-pointers made this season.
50-48, Rockets by 2. Oh, Yao had the position. Now he's got it. He'll work on Lorenzen right. He passes out of it to Derek Anderson. That was a tough catch and shoot by Derek.
I would have liked to see Yao shoot that ball.
Yep.
He had the ball on the post.
And
single coverage.
Much shorter guy on it. Right back to Pau Gasol. And a shot from the outside. And guess who? Eddie Jones.
Well, he's starting to heat up now. He's got 13 points.
Derek Anderson sets up Luther Head, 1 extra pass to David. Wesley with the jumper short. Wait, Luther Head's been shooting. I almost wanted him to take it.
Yeah, well, David has been shooting the threes, the standstill jump shots very well, but he still struggles to shoot off the dribble coming off that knee injury, and he doesn't have enough legs to put the ball on the floor. I'm with you. I'd like to see Luther shoot the ball. He's shooting over 50% from the 3-point line.
All right, Stoudemire back to Lorenzen right. And he'll shoot it up and miss it, and the rebound going high. Boy, Luther Head got way up there.
It's a trampoline down there somewhere.
4:10 left to play in the quarter. Juwan Howard hits again, and Juwan's got the touch. Rockets go back on top by a point. 4 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Juwan Howard with 10. Wesley with 11. 15 for Anderson. Eddie Jones collides with Yao Ming, and a foul on Yao.
Number 11, Yao.
Yao's trying to tell him, hey, I'm going straight up in the air. Well, let's watch here. I agree with this call. This is a foul, but it is the Rockets' exterior defense that allows him to penetrate and give Yao that foul. Eddie Jones is a smart player. He's trying to go up strong and causes the contact. He knows he's going to the free throw line, but that's a play where the Rockets don't allow that penetration. Yao does not pick up that foul.
Ooh, there's a rarity. A miss by Eddie Jones. We talked about before, Memphis dead last in the NBA in free throw shooting, but Eddie Jones is an 80% career free throw shooter and shooting 80% this season. He gets 1 out of 2. And E. Jones with 14 points. Game tied at 52. Go to plan B, and that's going to be a turnover. Steal by Eddie Jones. Bobby Jackson to Stoudemire. Reversal, he missed it, and it's picked up and in by Pau Gasol.
Eddie Jones, always a great defender to get those steals, and he starts a fast break for the Grizzlies.
And an offensive foul is called on Juwan Howard.
Bobby Jackson took a pretty good hit there. Let's watch this and see if Juwan has got his feet set. Now he's moving a little bit, and of course Bobby Jackson able to act a little bit on that one, accentuate the contact, hold his head a little bit. That's what I do after I hit a ball into the woods.
Stoudemire back to Gasol, and he gives it back to Stoudemire, and he hits a three. Is that long two? 2:55 and counting left to play in the third quarter, and the Grizzlies will or the Rockets will call a timeout. 4-point lead by Memphis. (56-52). Memphis with the lead. 2:53 left to play. Man,
is that one of the officials?
I don't know what kind of contract this guy has. He made the cut, didn't he? He didn't.
He survived one more year.
He survived Thanksgiving. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. Not much to report here tonight.
I think he's still trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah. Rockets have tried to get Yao involved in the game and just hasn't been able to do it. And now Dikembe Mutombo will check in for Yao. David Wesley over to Anderson.
Shot clock's running down.
Anderson gets open for a jump shot. Juwan Howard with the offensive rebound. Right back to Derek again. Luther Head from the deep corner. Hits a three-pointer for Luther Head, his second of the game.
When I see Luther on the plane tonight, I'm going to say, every time you have a shot, take it. Don't pass it up.
He had his coming out party in Dallas several games back. Kept the Rockets in that game till the end. Gasol with a miss. Juwan Howard with a rebound. Juwan very active tonight. 10 points, 7 rebounds for Juwan Howard. Derek Anderson to the basket, and it will not go, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, you mentioned Juwan Howard. He really has been playing well for the Rockets tonight. It's been an ugly game, but Juwan has been very consistent. Got the rebound, and that time set the pick to open up Derek Anderson. Sometimes you've got to find different ways to score, and we watched Derek Anderson take it in there. Not able to get the and one, but Derek Anderson also having a great game.
Well, without Tracy McGrady in the game, the only two Rockets who can really get to the basket on their own is Derek Anderson and possibly Luther Head.
Yes.
The rest are spot-up shooters, and that will help out a lot when T-Mac comes back. That'll open up a lot of things for us.
Yeah, I mean, this team is built around Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. And obviously when Tracy's not on the court, you're just kind of putting things together. You're trying to patch a huge hole, and it's just so difficult. But the Rockets are, so far tonight, being able to get it done.
Game tied at 56. Back outside to Bobby Jackson, over to Antonio Burks. Burks with a lot of dribbling, going nowhere. Jackson will fire it up, and in and out, won't go. And there's Derek Anderson with another rebound. 1:42 and counting left to play in the quarter. Off the foot of Lorenzen Wright.
Well, Derek Anderson, this is his 4th straight game in double figures. This is the kind of firepower that the Rockets were expecting from him when they signed him in the offseason, and he's really starting to deliver.
Lutherhead brings it in. Still 13 on the shot clock for Houston. Anderson taking it to the basket, missed the layup, and the rebound to Bobby Jackson. I don't know how many layups the Rockets have missed tonight. It's got to be about 5 or 6. Lorenzen right to Gasol, and he's fouled. How about that beautiful ball movement by the Grizzlies? And the Grizzly man gets the basket.
That's a good comment on his beard there, Bill. It's kind of Grizzly.
Well, he came back from Spain this summer with a new look.
That is very Grizzly.
Yes. He said it made him feel comfortable.
Got a lane violation on Mutombo.
And Mutombo came in about 2 minutes too early. How about that look?
Makes him feel tougher. Well, whatever works for you.
He's really matured as a player and played for the Olympic team in Spain in 2004. A good international player. And he missed the free throws. He's only a 66% free throw shooter, and that's something he'll have to work on. 2-point lead by Memphis. Lutherhead gives it back to Juwan Howard. Juwan going down that baseline, turns, gives it to Derek Anderson, and he misses. And the rebound to Jake Sakalidis. 48 seconds left to play in the quarter. Battier misses. And Mutombo will jump it up with Sakalidis.
Oh, easy, fellas.
No one wants to let go of it.
You think those guys are competing? The crowd loves it.
Well, there may not be a lot of points being scored, but these two teams are playing awfully hard.
And there's the rebound. Both Deke and Jake going at it. That's a heavyweight battle right there.
Who's going to win this jump?
I don't know. How about the size of those two guys and their reach?
Yeah. Well, they're both 7'2". And Deke.
Oh, they got Dikembe with the foul on that tip. Dikembe tried to pull out the old veteran move of pulling down Jake's arm. Steve Jabby not falling for that.
So Sakalidis will get.
And take a look at this. Dikembe, when he goes up, he pulls down the arm with his left arm. The old Akeem Olajuwon trick, and Steve Jabby able to see that one.
And Sakalidis misses. We said coming in that Memphis, the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA, 7 of 12 for 58%. The Rockets are 15 of 20 for 75%.
Sakalidis 50% on the year.
Well, he gets 50%. Yeah.
The stats bear out.
Rockets can go 2 for 1 if they get an early shot. Pressure on the ball and a foul on Jackson. That's only the third team foul on the Grizzlies, but it's inside of 2 minutes, so now both teams will be in the penalty for the final 25 seconds. Well, I thought, no, now they put 5 of them, so they are in the bonus, both teams. So that wasn't a very smart foul, was it?
Almost was a smart foul, but now it really isn't.
I thought he had one to give the way he reached down and grabbed it. And Lutherhead puts it up and in.
Luther having he's had the last couple games great scoring nights. Well, he only has 7 tonight, but he has 5 assists.
Well, Luther missed, and Mutombo with a loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul, number 55, Dikembe Mutombo.
You know what, though, Bill? That's being aggressive. Let's watch Dikembe He's going after this loose ball, and he just gives Powell a little shove there. But you know what? He's being aggressive. And in a game like this, you've got to play aggressively. You've got to find some energy. You've got to get your team going.
You got to hand it to Pau Gasol now. He weighs 275 pounds. He sure went down awfully easy. I don't think Deke is that strong. Pretty good fake.
Those Europeans, they know how to act. They know how to get the flop.
So Deke will have to come out of the game, and Yao will come in. Jeff Van Gundy wants Yao for the final 22 seconds of the quarter.
Kimbe's fired up over there on the bench. Let's see if the rest of the team will follow in his footsteps.
So 1 out of 2. Kimbe really upset. So the Rockets now can tie it with a 3 or get down by a point with a 2. 10 seconds left to play in the quarter. Wesley will pull the trigger. Juwan brings Pau Gasol out high, going over to Yao Ming. Yao looks up, 2 seconds left over Sakalitas for 2. Yao Ming with 1 second left in the quarter. And Burks misses on the long bomb, and here we go to the final 12 minutes. It's anybody's game. Rockets hanging tough, down by only a point. Welcome back to Memphis, Tennessee, where we're getting ready to go into the 4th and final quarter. Bill Worrell along with Matt Bullard, and the Rockets have played excellent defense here tonight. Field goal percentage, Houston 41%, allowing Memphis only 38%. Derek Anderson with 15, Eddie Jones with 14 for Memphis. So here we go to the 4th quarter. Again, the Rockets are very much in another ball game, Matt. The problem for Houston is finishing them off. That's one of your keys. Play 4 good quarters.
This is the point, Bill, where the Rockets have got to find a way to win. They're in this basketball game. They've got 12 minutes of basketball left. They've got to make the right plays. They've got to play smart. They've got to get all the rebounds. They've got to cut their turnovers down. This is winning time, and the Rockets need to learn how to win.
Jeff Van Gundy will send out Yao Ming in the middle, along with John Barry, Luther Head, David Wesley, and Stromile Swift. Burks guarding Wesley. Bobby Jackson chasing Luther Head. Yao's flashing inside on Sakalitas, turns, fires, got it. Boy, that was so
easy.
much more confidence in that shot.
That's only the second field goal for Yao. The first one came right before the end of the 3rd period.
And the Rockets have taken a 1-point lead. And Yao Ming ends up with the basketball, and Luther Head will push it in a hurry. Luther giving it up. Swift with a slam, and he's fouled by Sakalitas. Oh, they've seen that here before.
Oh, the fans don't like it either.
No, I think that's ooh, not boo.
Ooh, or maybe it's Lou for Luther. Nice pass. Stromile. Slamming with the left hand. Ooh, nasty. How about one more look?
Oh, he gets up in a hurry and comes down in a hurry. 3-point play the old-fashioned way for Stroh. So Stromile Swift in the game for 3. That's 5 points in a row by Houston to start off the quarter, leading it by 4. Burks giving it up to Gasol, looking down to Battier. He's a little bigger than Barry. He'll try to take advantage of it. Puts it up with the left hand and got it. He's good with the jump hook with both his right and left hands, and that's a good shot for him when he gets it that deep.
So he's amphibious then, huh?
He's amphibious.
Yes, or ambidextrous, or one of those two.
Yes, take your pick. John Barry, reversal, missed it. Tough shot. Bobby Jackson in the open court. They always look for Pau Gasol, and Luther Head almost got the steal.
Luther's got quick hands, Bill. He's all on defense. He's always got his hands around the ball, and those deflections are charted by the assistant coaches. They love to see those deflections.
Get up!
And they're going to go right back to Battier on Barry. He puts it up with the left hand, missed it badly. White got the offensive rebound, back to Jackson. Jackson with a double dribble.
I saw it. Louis Grillo didn't see it, though.
Battier drives down the baseline. Ball is kicked out of bounds by Stromile Swift. Grizzlies will have it. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Officials are starting to let him play here in the fourth quarter. A lot of physicality on the court. The Rockets need to be out, be aggressive.
Bobby Jackson. Luther picked him up. Bobby looking for a shot. There he takes it. Missed it. Yao with the rebound. It's loose. John Barry comes out of the pack with a basketball. Down to Swift. Got trapped on the baseline, and he
had nowhere to go.
Well, apparently it was hit by one of the Grizzlies on the deflection, so the Rockets will have the basketball. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Guess Van Gundy saying, let's go.
Yeah, he's coaching his heart out tonight. He knows this is a game the Rockets can win, and he doesn't want to kick them out of here without one.
They want Yao Ming in there, but Swift, they leave him wide open, and he misses.
The Rockets have found that pick and roll opens up some 15-foot jump shots. Juwan Howard has been hitting them. That time Stromile missed it.
Saw no place to go.
Bad spacing on that offense.
Bobby Jackson, again, a tough shot going to his left, but he can make it.
He was hot in the first half for a few minutes. Let's hope he doesn't heat up here in the fourth quarter.
Neither team lets the other one get very far ahead. The Rockets' biggest lead was 11. That came in the first couple of minutes of the game. There's Stromile to the basket. And a good job, I thought, by Luther to pick out Swift, because he knew he could get to the basket in a hurry.
That's the 7th assist for Luther. He's been setting career highs in the last 3 games on all of his stats.
Antonio Burks to Jackson again. Watch him. He loves to go to his left to shoot the ball. Or he'll shoot it from the parking lot. And he missed that one, but the long rebound comes outside. Jackson gets it inside, and he travels. Good call. Swift and Yao Ming cut him off in the paint. And Bobby Jackson with the turnover. So we have a timeout charge to Memphis. 8:39 left to play. The Rockets can finish this game. They can get a victory on the road. Rockets with a 2-point lead, 8:39 left to play. The NBA All-Star Game, remember now, is coming to Houston. We need the Rockets stars to shine. You can vote for T-Mac, Yao, David Wesley's on the ballot to represent Houston. Balloting is going on now at all Rockets home games at participating sponsor locations and online. So vote early and vote often. Luther Head will have to set up the offense. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. A trap comes out on Luther Head. Now it's down to 7, down to 6, down to 5. Swift's going to have to make it happen. Wesley's going to have to make it happen. Jump shot, David, in and out. Looked good for a moment. Eddie Jones right back the other way.
Both teams have really started to lock down their defense.
Antonio Burks. Shane Battier outside now. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bobby Jackson to Burks. Looks like it's going to have to be Burks. He'll shoot up the jumper. Corkscrew way off the mark, and Swift with a rebound. Good defense by the Rockets. They denied the shooters the ball.
Good defense on both ends. Neither team able to get a good shot in the last couple of possessions.
Rockets up by 2 points. David Wesley with the open jumper. No, it's not there. And Swift with the rebound, but he was over the back. That's the third foul on Stromile, and that's the first team foul in the quarter on the Rockets. 1 team foul on the Grizzlies. Antonio Burks will sit down. Damon Stoudemire will come back in. Stoudemire gives him a little better shooting from the outside.
And a little more experience at the point guard position.
Although he hasn't shot it that well this season. There he is. He's open. And he missed. Dikembe Mutombo with a rebound.
That's usually the case. You come right in the game and get a shot right away.
7:12 left in the game. Mutombo sets that pick, and Lorenzen Wright with a foul. That wasn't real smart, was it?
Well, both teams double-team the pick and roll. And Derek Anderson knows that when he goes out that pick and roll, there's going to be a big man jumping out.
Let me ask you about this substitution now. Jeff Van Gundy let Yao sit down for a couple of minutes, get a breather, and then put him back in rather than having him play straight through. He's fatigued a little bit lately late in games.
Yeah, Yao was really struggling in the fourth quarter. He's been very tired, so I like that move by Van Gundy to give him 2 minutes of rest in the middle of the fourth quarter.
And then they call an offensive foul on Yao Ming.
See, and that's penalizing Yao for being a big man.
Yeah.
He's playing against a smaller player. The smaller player can beat up on him all he wants, and as soon as Yao moves to his position and causes contact, they call a foul. That's not right. That's penalizing a man for being big.
Remember what Will Chamberlain said, nobody loves the giant. Wright trying to pass it inside to Battier. Battier has to shoot it over Yao, and he got it. Oh, a good touch by Shane Battier. The game is tied at 66. 6.5 minutes left to play. Luther Head giving it up to Stromae Swift, and it's blocked. Stoudemire. Eddie Jones. Good transition defense by Houston, and Battier will shoot it. And Battier with a big basket, and Luther Head will call a timeout. So the Rockets will take the timeout. 6:03 left to play. Houston trailing by 2. Memphis on an 8-2 run the last 5 minutes to take the lead. Would you like the latest Rockets information emailed right to your computer desktop? Rockets e-Blastoff includes team news, game notes, ticket information, special promotions, and more. To sign up, just go to Rockets.com and follow the link to be a Rockets insider. Well, tomorrow night, the Rockets will be back home in the Toyota Center to take on the young Chicago Bulls. Right now, the Bulls are in San Antonio beating up on the Spurs. And we will have that game for you tomorrow night in Houston. Pretty good baby Bulls, huh? Ben Gordon last year, 6th man of the year. All right, back down to the live action now as David Wesley gives it up to John Barry, down to Yao. And a good play. Yao just didn't convert. The Rockets don't have that man to go to down the stretch. It's really hurt them. They've been in a lot of these games, but they just don't have a guy like a Tracy McGrady to get some shots. Battier's been the man for Memphis.
He's got all 6 of the last 6 points for the Grizzlies in the last 5.5 minutes. So, like you say, Bill, you've got to have a go-to guy down in the fourth quarter.
Now can't hold on to it. Got a little bump from behind.
How's that not a foul?
Bobby Jackson misses. John Barry in the open court. John beats Eddie Jones, takes it inside. He's way in the circle.
That can't be a charge.
That can't be a charge. Louis Grillo called a charge on Barry.
Okay.
Now he changes it.
That's the right call. See, John Barry sees that Battier is inside the circle, and actually he might be outside the circle, but anytime the defender is inside that circle, it's close right there. Any contact, and that's got to be a block.
Yes, he started outside the circle. When the contact was made, he was in the circle. And Grillo was overruled by Zielinski.
And the crowd's going bananas now because they just saw the replay on the big screen.
Well, do you think Louis would change his mind a third time?
That might be in uncharted waters right there. Let's see if John Barry can take advantage.
And he does.
Like Metellus, trying to draw it up for Louis right there.
Yeah. Well, the instant replay does put a lot of heat on the officials. And they don't have use of instant replay. I was watching college football today. They had 3 or 4 different times where they went up to the booth because the game has gotten so fast now, it's hard to call. Basketball does not have that unless you're going to look at a last-second shot at the end of a quarter.
That's a great point. This game is played at such a quick speed.
Battier blocked by Yao, but a foul is called on John Berry.
The game is so fast, and the players are so big and so physical. It's a very difficult game to officiate. And of course, when we watch it and slow it down, then we have an aid that the officials do not have.
Shane Battier has been the go-to man for Memphis. He has scored their last 6 points, and he make it 7. Battier with 17 points, 8 of 14 shooting.
The Rockets have been trying to go to Yao. Yao's missed 3 shots in a row and missed a pass.
And you notice that they're doing this now with Pau Gasol out of the lineup. And Battier has been matched up with Yao. Now Lorenzen Wright fronts Yao Ming. Looking down to Yao. There it is. He's got Lorenzen Wright behind him. Ball knocked out of bounds by Wright. You know, Yao loses the ball so much that even when he's fouled, they don't call it much anymore. It looks like he got hacked pretty good right there on the arm.
That's a good point. Yao's either going to have to hold on to the ball stronger or hold it up in the air.
4 seconds. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Wesley has it blocked, but a foul whistled before the shot. In the act of shooting. Shane Battier with a foul. That was a good aggressive move to the basket with only 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and David Wesley will get 2. Rockets trailing by 4.
Talked about you got to make the plays down the stretch. That includes you got to make free throws. These are big free throws for David, and you've got to be able to make the play. You've got to be able to play good defense. You've got to be able to finish the defensive possession with the rebound. In this type of a game, each possession is magnified.
Rockets now 21 of 27 for 78% from the line, 11 of 17 from Memphis, 65%. It's a 2-point lead by the Grizzlies. 4.5 minutes left to play in the game. Battier gets it right back again. He's trying to bring Yao Ming out on the perimeter. Inside to Eddie Jones. Ball is loose. Derek Anderson trying to corral it, and he does. A turnover. The Rockets have the basketball. And Stromile Swift is called for an offensive foul.
Not only are the Grizzlies fronting Yao in the post, they're fronting everybody in the post. It's been a very effective defense for the Grizzlies, and we'll see Stromile with that left arm just pushes Battier out of the way, and Stromile not happy.
So Juwan Howard will come in for Swift, and Luther Head will check into the game for John Berry.
Both very good substitutions.
And the Rockets will go with Luther Head, Derek Anderson, Howard, Yao, and Wesley. Luther Head will match up out front with Stoudemire. They're going to go right back to Battier again. Battier working it inside over Juwan. Good defense by Juwan, never left his feet. All right, they'll go right back to Battier. 7 on the shot clock. He misses. Yao Ming with a one-armed rebound and a loose ball foul on Lorenzen Wright.
Loose ball foul, number 22, Lorenzen Wright.
That's the 15th foul on the Grizzlies, so Yao Ming will be at the free throw line trying to tie the game up. Good box out by Yao.
Yep. You see Yao finishing that defensive play with the rebound. Now, 2 very big free throws.
Here's another big point down the stretch. The Rockets have only 2 team fouls, Matt, so they've got a couple yet to give before they get into that penalty situation. The Grizzlies are over the limit as Pau Gasol comes back in. They went a long time without their number 1 scorer in the game. Now Gasol is back.
Well, Pau's struggled tonight, 3 for 9 for 7 points. Yao now with 9 points and 9 rebounds.
And we're tied at 72. 3:40 left to play. Eddie Jones taking it down to Gasol. Gasol wants to work on Yao Ming, puts it on the floor over to Eddie Jones. It's a 3. Eddie Jones. That's his 4th three-pointer tonight. He's 4 of 7 behind the arc. Eddie Jones with 17 points. Back to Yao Ming. Cross court to Derek Anderson. Anderson. Jones reaches and calls a timeout.
Eddie Jones getting it done on both ends, Bill. Draining a huge 3 and then making a big steal.
So we're taking a timeout with 3:06 left to play. 19 turnovers have really hurt the Rockets. Eddie Jones with a big three-pointer to give them the lead at 75-72, and Eddie 4 for 7 behind the arc, and they have been killers so far tonight. Now the Rockets need to play some tough defense. Al Gasol matched up with Juwan Howard, trying to go baseline. Good defense by Juwan Howard.
The Grizzlies came out of that timeout, ran a little misdirection, and then came to a pick and roll. Now only 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Stoudemire will bring it in quickly. Gasol with a reversal. 5-point lead by Memphis. Two and a half minutes left to play. John Barry gets it down to Yao Ming for the jump hook for 2, and it's back to a 3-point Memphis advantage. 2:20 left to play in the game. Rockets need to stop defensively. Gasol out high. Into the corner. Bobby Jackson hits a 3. You got to have big play people, and Memphis making the big plays. Under 2 minutes left to play in the game. Who's going to step up for Houston? Luther head down to Yao Ming, turns, fires, but the Rockets are trading 2s for 3.
That's a great point. The Rockets have been able to get the ball into Yao, but they've got to play some defense. These are tough defensive possessions. You can't give up 3-point shots.
4-point lead by the Grizzlies with a minute and a half left to play. The Rockets need to pitch a shutout the rest of the way. Battier hits again. Big shot after big shot. The Memphis Grizzlies are getting it done down the stretch. And time is running out for the Houston Rockets.
This is Houston.
A minute and a half left to play in the game, and Memphis leading at 82-76. We talked about somebody stepping up. Well, for the Grizzlies, it's been Shane Battier, who has scored on 3 of his last 4 possessions.
Well, he's been doing it inside. He's been doing it outside. He's been doing it on the defensive end. And he's been making the outside jump shot. Shane Battier is the big player for the Grizzlies tonight.
Normally it's Pau Gasol, but the Rockets have held Gasol to only 7 points. Battier has stepped up for 20.
9 for 16 from the floor for Shane Battier. Very efficient.
Yeah, I'll say. All right, man, what do the Rockets got to do here?
They've got to get a good shot. It doesn't have to be a 3. Looks like they're going to try to go inside to Yao, but they've got to get into it quickly.
Yao sets a pick for Luther head. Luther takes it inside. Yao went for the dunk and missed it, and a foul is called, so Yao Ming will go to the line to shoot 2. But how do you miss a dunk? I guess half of Memphis was hanging on his arm.
Yeah. A little high pick and roll. Luther tries to take it in, gets the shot blocked, but Yao, good job of rolling down and see the foul on the arm from Pau Gasol. Right there.
You know, we talk about block shots, but Memphis number 8 in the NBA in block shots. Gasol averages almost 3 blocks a game, so he is very active in there. And Battier will average a couple a game.
Yep.
Those two have been active inside, and Yao will have one more. And he still gives the Rockets a chance. 82-78, a 4-point game. Rockets just need to have some stops on defense and then see if they can make some baskets.
The Rockets have been rotating and giving up 3-point shots.
They can't keep hitting them, can they?
That time now in the pick and roll. They try to not double team.
Battier on the drive, tough shot going to his right. Good defense by Houston. Here we go, under a minute left to play. Everything has to count now for the Rockets. Luther head going to his left. Almost a steal by Stoudemire. Luther back to Yao. Yao puts it on the floor, spins inside and missed it. Now the Rockets are in a tough position, trailing by 4. They've got to extend that defense. You don't want to foul him, though. So So it's very smart of the Grizzlies to get the ball into the hands of Stoudemire, who is a 96% free throw shooter.
23 for 24 so far this season for Stoudemire. Let's watch Yao's spin move down the lane. Pretty agile for a big man. Just missed the shot. Luther giving the ball to the right guy. I'm impressed by that move, but Yao just got to finish.
Yeah, he did everything to finish. All right, that was the foul the Rockets had to give there. So both teams are in the penalty for the final 34.6. And Ryan Bowen now will come in for Yao Ming and play defense on Gasol.
Oh, that's over and back.
Well, you can go in the back court.
No fouls, Montgomery saying no fouls. They're just going to try to get this rebound.
Stoudemire is fouled on the shot. David Wesley, one of the veterans on this team, committing the foul. And you're fouling a 96% free throw shooter.
Pretty good defensive effort, I thought, that time for the Rockets. The Grizzlies were flirting with that half-court line, but to foul the shooter, that's a mistake at the end of that defensive play.
There you go. Steve Nash always at the top. And he missed a shot against a free throw shot against the Rockets a couple of nights ago. Damon Stoudemire right behind him.
Damon can't make them all, can he? He's 95%. He should miss one every once in a while, shouldn't he, Bill?
I think this might be the time. Ooh, that's a nice touch, isn't it? Well, we've got just under 24 seconds left to play. The Rockets are going to have to need a miracle. As it's 84-78, and again, the Rockets just don't have that guy to go to down the stretch. And game after game already this season, that has been the problem. The Rockets are right there with about 5 minutes to go and can't finish.
The definition of a go-to guy, Bill, is a guy who gets his points during the game, but in the fourth quarter, with 3 minutes left, with 2 minutes left, he scores every time. He gets the ball in the basket, whether he shoots it in or he gets fouled and makes free throws. The go-to guy when I played was Hakeem Olajuwon. You give him the ball, he would make the shot every time. Yao is able to get the ball here in the fourth quarter a lot easier than he did in the first half, but has missed shots. Yao is 4 for 12 from the floor.
Well, and a perfect example, like in Dallas the other night down the stretch, Dallas put the ball in Nowitzki's hand. Right. And he made 3 clutch buckets. Then the other night, Rockets got close to Phoenix. They put it in Nash's hands, and he made 2 big shots. Tonight it's been Battier and Eddie Jones from Memphis making some key buckets. The Rockets just haven't had anybody step up and able to make them, and that's what T-Mac does so well for this team. And there's a little Yao Ming fan. A lot of Rockets jerseys here tonight, huh?
Pretty good arena here, the FedEx Forum. Memphis fans.
Well, get out to that Rocket shop and get your jersey.
Yeah, 18,119 Memphis Grizzly fans here tonight, the second sellout of the season. A big 4-game homestand for the Rockets coming back after this game.
Let's do it.
All right, under 24 seconds left to play.
Now you have to shoot threes. You're down by 6 points. It's a 2-possession game. You've got to shoot threes. The Rockets have all of their 3-point shooters in except for Yao. Expect to see Yao setting some picks to open up some 3-point shots.
Looks like Antonio Burks tried to check in, but too late. Luther head. On 2. Yao tips it back out to Luther. He'll fire it again. This time it's a 3. Luther head with a 3. It's a 3-point game. 17.7 left to play. Luther missed the 2, got the 3. Here's where the Rockets need to hope that Stoudemire will miss something.
How about that Luther head?
Oh, missed the pressure.
That would be the guy I'd give the ball to in the fourth quarter.
Well, the trouble with this statistic, they are the worst shooting free throw team in the NBA, but the guy at the line for them right now is number 2 in the NBA in free throw shooting.
5 for 26 this season from the free throw line.
Just such a feathery touch, isn't it? Even if he touches iron with this, he's going to usually get it in. I remember Bill Sharman years ago with Boston. He touched a lot of iron, but he had such a nice rotation. Good touch. He almost always made it. And there two by Stoudemire. Rockets got to get it up in a hurry now. 15 seconds.
Even number 3.
Head back to Yao. Yao steps behind the three-point line and just missed it. Put back to Yao again, but he can't get to it. Battier will dribble it out. So another heartbreaker for the Houston Rockets. They're right there, but they can't finish the game. And tonight's Landry Signature Group Player of the Game, Shane Battier, with 20 points and 7 rebounds in 40 minutes of action tonight. And the Rockets lose their 6th game in a row as they head home tomorrow night. And the final score is Chicago, or the Grizzlies, I should say, winning this game by 5. Stay tuned. After the break, we'll have the Rockets post-game report. Don't go away. Well, the Houston Rockets are outscored 26-22 in the fourth quarter and lose it by 5 here tonight in Memphis. And when you look at the box score, the Rockets did a great job on Pau Gasol. He's the leading scorer for Memphis. He had only 9 points tonight, but Shane Battier stepped up in his absence.
Shane Battier has been playing some great basketball so far this season. He's getting it done on both ends of the court, but he's so efficient with the basketball. 9 for 17 from the floor tonight. That's just impressive for a guy like Shane Battier. And then you see on the defensive end as well. He's the go-to guy for the Grizzlies, and then, of course, you got Eddie Jones, been in the league about 50 years, it seems like, knocking down threes for all of those years. The Rockets just giving him too much space. Whenever Eddie Jones can set his feet like that and get a good look at the rim, he's going to drain those three-point shots.
You know, as well as the Rockets played on defense, you can't beat anybody when you only score 81 points, and that's the problem the Rockets have. They're playing great defense, they just can't score.
Yeah, and that, you know, especially down the stretch, you know, they're giving the ball to Yao. He's trying so hard to put that ball in the basket, but if you have Tracy McGrady and you score 81 points, then you add Tracy's 25 on top of that, you're winning all these games. And Tracy McGrady is a go-to guy. He's the type of guy, when you give him the ball in the fourth quarter, he can make something happen with it.
Well, the Rockets are 2-9 now without T-Mac, and we hope he's back tomorrow night in Houston. We'll be back in just a moment. Back in Memphis, and the Houston Rockets beaten by 5 points here tonight. One interesting thing as I look at the final box, when you only get 60 field goal attempts, you better hit a good percentage, and that's all the Rockets got tonight.
Yeah, that ties the third lowest field goal attempts in Rockets history. And if you're going to only get 60, you got to shoot about 50%. The Rockets only shooting 40% tonight.
Yeah, that's tough. So again, if Tracy McGrady is able to come back tomorrow, that's going to add some offense to the Houston lineup, and that's what they have to have. Now, talking about tomorrow night, the Chicago Bulls are in San Antonio, and they're leading the Spurs right now by 3 points with about 6 minutes left in that game. This is a good young Chicago team. The second game of a back-to-back could favor them with their young legs.
Yeah, they're playing in San Antonio, so it is a back-to-back for both teams, but when you have a young team like Chicago, an up-and-coming team with 3 players like we just saw, the Rockets are going to have to find some energy tomorrow night too, Bill.
They are, and right now 3-10 on the season for the Rockets with Tracy McGrady maybe, as we say maybe, because they're hoping he can come back and play tomorrow night. The Rockets really need his offense. We'll be back and close it out for you in just a moment. Once again, the final score tonight, it was Memphis 86, the Houston Rockets 81. Join us for our next telecast tomorrow night when the Rockets host the Chicago Bulls. Coverage begins at 7 on FSN Houston. For Matt Bullard, I'm Bill Worrell saying good night from Memphis.